Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. It's the day after game day, and as Stevie would say, it's Monday, the day after Sunday, and we're going to talk about the back pages. We're going to go and dive in to see what the media is saying following Celtic's win against Ross County yesterday. A 2-0 win, which keeps us 6 points clear at the top of the table. We have one hand on that Premiership trophy. I was about to say title, but we'll go with trophy. And you know what? This episode of the back page is a little bit sweeter because Ange has had a little bit of a bite back at the media after some comments following our derby defeat. And it makes this victory a little bit sweeter. So let's talk about all of that. Let's see what the manager's saying, see what the back pages are saying in Monday morning's newspapers. Also, if you haven't already, please make sure to go down below and hit that subscribe button. We're on the road to 34,000 subscribers. We're almost there to 34,000 subscribers. I think we're just over halfway. So if you could speed up that process, it would be really appreciated. And hit the like button when you're down there as well. I've got a bit of a sore throat this morning, so if I sound a little bit off, that's the reason why. It's been a great weekend. I'm glad to be back, starting a fresh week after what was a really good one there yesterday. Brilliant Celtic winning, of course. Max Verstappen as well, taking max points in the Imola weekend in the F1. It's brilliant. Great weekend for a sports fan like myself. But, you know, we've got a lot to talk about. And one thing I want to start this video with is a little bit off of topic from what we're going to talk about in the back pages, but it does heavily involve Celtic. And it's the changing narrative in this title charge that we are now on. You know, we're really close to it now. You know, we go and we beat Rangers this weekend, that's it, done, pretty much. So, you know, we do really have one hand on that trophy right now. And it's great, what a season it's been, and we've defied all expectation, and while defying said expectation, we have ruffled a few favours, which is great. There has been such a reaction from certain people. I'm not saying that everybody over the other side of the city has been the same, but I think a large majority of them on social media have been showing the same sort of opinion. And that's that we're, you know, sort of, we've been gift wrapped the title was one of the phrases. Look, I could make a whole video in itself surrounding this topic and surrounding some of the woeful opinions and ever-changing narratives that are coming out about our potential league title win. I'm still going to use that word potential, touch wood that we do win it. I can make a video in itself, and I probably will when it all is wrapped up if we get there. But the fact of the matter is this. Rangers, at the start of the season, went in as champions. They were in a position which a lot of their own fans thought Celtic would struggle for even third place. They had the league won after 6 games for a lot of them. You know, a lot of them were asking for early title celebrations. They may as well call the competition in October time, when Celtic had only won 3 of their opening 6. And then they went on to bottle a 6-point league at the top of the table. Simply put, Celtic deserve this, where they've been from this season, because we've worked hard. Amongst Rangers bottling a 6-point lead, it's not like Celtic have been gift wrapped anything. Those 6 points have been one off of Celtic. We battered you at Celtic Park, and we came to your own turf and took 3 points there. So there's 6 points in itself, and it's not our fault you can't get wins at other teams. You know, we all play the same teams in this league. Celtic have had a fantastic domestic record from our last defeat in the league to where we are now. The only game we have lost since our last league defeat was against Rangers last week at Hampden, in fact. We are nothing short of deserving of where we are right now as a club, as a team, and going for this league title. The narratives will always change on the other side of the city to suit some folk, and I know not everyone's the same. I don't want to tar everybody with the same brush, but the majority of opinions seem the same. And it's the same as well, this price that we've spent in the summer goes up 5 million every week. I don't think people understand the meaning of a rebuild, and when you're a club like Celtic and you have money to spend on a rebuild, you're certainly going to use that. But it's not as high as 40, 50, 60 million pounds as some people on social media would suggest. And do you know what? The tears are great, because this was a team who had no right to win a league title apparently, and we're now going to win it. So if you think this is the worst team to ever win a league title, don't be so silly. This is a team who have won 10 of the last 11 league titles. If anybody has been lucky out of the last 11 years, I believe it would be the one that played in the empty stadiums. But I'm not as petty to suggest that. Rangers won their title, we've moved on from it, and now Celtic are about to win theirs. There's nothing lucky about this Celtic side. They've fought fucking hard, and we deserve to be where we are. So then, the back pages. Let's finally get into it after a little bit of a rant just there. There we go. Kyogo is the man who is taking front and centre of this back page. Ange is laser beaming boss tales of pride in his relentless hoops as they edge closer to title glory. Ange Postecoglou insists he's proud of the laser-like focus that has ensured Celtic have kept near perfect balance on the title tightrope. It's been fantastic to watch, of course, the past few weeks at Celtic, league-wise anyway, as we've remained so focused on our task of going to win this league title. And of course, we now have this last big step on Sunday. I think if we beat Rangers, it's pretty much done. It would take a miracle of epic proportions for Rangers to go and win a title if we beat them on Sunday. So, we've now got that last hurdle to get over. And if we do that, it will just, be a testament to everything that this Celtic side has done over the past few weeks and the past few months, I should say. We have remained focused, and that was there yesterday in a game which we knew we were going to be tested. There was periods of the game we were tested, and there was periods of the game we had to show a mental side of us to get through it and fight hard for a win, and we did. We were fantastic yesterday at points in the game. First half we blew them away. Kyogo, the guy and the back page here and the photo of him here, he was brilliant coming back from absence, of course. And yeah, I'm just absolutely delighted we are where we are right now. And the thing that I love reading is Ange Postecoglou's comments following the game. Going into that game yesterday, there was this narrative and this agenda pushed, especially by the MSM, that Celtic were going to crumble, that Celtic were under immense pressure, that Celtic were going to suddenly slip up because they lost that game last Sunday. Which was nonsense. We lost a game, and I believe Ange Postecoglou's comments were along the lines of, we lost one game in extra time in a cup semi-final. It wasn't going to define our season. It was along those sort of tracks that Ange Postecoglou commented. And he's bang on. Why that loss last week invoked such a reaction in the MSM about Celtic's title challenge is beyond me. It's not like we were dreadful last week. It's not like we got battered by Rangers. Rangers won the game in extra time. It'd be different if Rangers went and beat us 4-0 at Hampden. Then I'd maybe get the conversation like, okay, is this a Celtic side who's going to struggle to recover from that? If anything, I think the narrative that should have been pushed after that cup semi-final last week was that Celtic were going to be even hungrier to go out and get this league title. So for then the MSM, you seen, I think it was Hugh Keevans who done an article as well, especially his, that stood out to me. For them then to come and push this agenda that we were on like our last legs and that we were going to stumble over the line and maybe bottle it after a cup semi-final loss was just absolute nonsense. And I think it was a reach and probably very telling of where Celtic are right now and what they've achieved. It's like that same old thing that a lot of us say. You can tell when Celtic's on top because then it's the same old arguments and the same old excuses that come out from opposition fans and the MSM. You suddenly see the change when Celtic are back on top. And honestly, this year has made that ever so evident to me. In the past, I wasn't really bothered, and still I'm really not. I just like focusing on my own team, and I give my opinion and listen to your guys' opinions, and we all come from that. But I think that it is ever so telling this season about how things have swayed in Scottish football because of some of the nonsense that we do see. But Ange Postecoglou biting back was absolutely fantastic. So we have the big double page spread as normal. It covered yesterday's game. By the way, before we talk about Ange Postecoglou's comments, there was a lot of people who I think that were quite disappointed with the second half performance and thought that we were kind of tailing off a little bit in that game. Just to be quick, the possession stat yesterday, we had 74% of the ball. We also only conceded one shot on target from Ross County and 5 shots altogether. So yes, there was periods in the second half where I feel like they were a little bit, they were getting into the game a little bit better. But listen, I think it's very just much a sign of how nervy things are at the moment, that sometimes things get exaggerated. We were the better team throughout the game and we deserved 3 points fully, and there's nothing to suggest otherwise. But Ange Postecoglou did hit back at the media and hit back at the doubters yesterday. I'll read out his quotes now on screen. You look at our record and the challenges we've had throughout the time, the players have been laser focused. Have a look at our record from round 6. If people can show me the games where we could have afforded a slip up, I'll be happy to have a look. Every game has been important to win. Every performance has been important. This was no different. We just had to continue with the football we've been playing, with whatever challenges we have, and I felt we did that here. I'm not surprised, but very proud. It's one of those where sometimes I sit back and just think about what this group of men have achieved in such a short space of time. The beauty of it is now they'll be back in now and getting into recovery and getting ready to go again next week. I mean, we're ready for next week. And he speaks there about the achievements that the boys have found this season, and it's fantastic to know that, he's talking about, you look at him, he's spot on when he talks about our performances from round 6. Round 6 was our last defeat. We lost to Livingston in the 6th game of the season away from home, and ever since then we've not lost a single game. And every game since then, there is nothing to suggest that this Celtic side has been lucky or has been a side ready to slip up in this title race. The whole lucky thing comes from all the opinions we're seeing online about a gift-wrapped title, but how can a title be gift-wrapped when you haven't lost a single game from the 6th game of the season? We're now coming up for match day 35. So you're now coming up for a really good run of games where you haven't lost. You know what I mean? It's ridiculous to suggest the things that have been suggested. And he's spot on. Where were we on track to slip up? Where? Highlight it for me, because I really struggle to find it myself. And just to clarify on the things I said earlier about Ange Postecoglou and his comments in relation to last week, he said, you talk about statements and all these things. We lost in extra time to a single goal in a cup semi-final. If that's evidence for things that need drastic change or that we've gone off the rails, that was our first loss, and I don't know however long. I get why people have extreme reactions to it, but I can tell you now that by Tuesday we were obviously disappointed because we were out the cup and really wanted to get to the final, but we were back training at our levels and getting ready for this game. There was never any need for me to address any sort of issues within. That's internally, but I look at externally why it gets looked at. What's important is that we come to every game, respect our opponent, and try to play our football and impose ourselves on that. That's what we did. There's enough commentary about it to know that this wasn't going to be an easy game. The last time they lost here was against us. You know it's going to be a difficult encounter. We've come away with a really strong victory, which I thought was important. And he's once again bang on. In this video, I really just want to keep focused around Ange Postecoglou and his comments in the media this morning. I don't know what this single goal loss was meaning for. There was a lot of Rangers fans banking on the hopes that we were really going to go off the rails and we were really going to slip up, and especially because they won on the Saturday, the pressure was on Celtic, and it was a disaster incoming. Once again, as Postecoglou said, we picked ourselves up after that loss on Sunday. We went into training on the Tuesday and we got focused on the next game. And that's the mentality that has been installed in these players and has kept these players on this fantastic league run. And it's the exact reason why we're hopefully on our way to win a fucking league title. That's exactly it. God bless the big man. We've won yesterday. We've got the 3 points. We are moving on. And once again, I think Ange Postecoglou is giving a little bit of a middle finger to the people who doubt him. Happy with that. Yes. Right. Like and subscribe if you've enjoyed today's video. We'll be back tomorrow and we'll be back all week with the build up to yet another derby. So until then, I'll see you all next time.